Welcome, my dear students, to the third lesson of implementing NAT64 DNS64 lesson. Before we get started to the third lesson, we just want to check the configuration that we complete in the previous lesson for the bind 9 DNS services. So I'm going to ping the same server on the Ubuntu server. The name of server is DNS64, as you remember, and you can see that the bind 9 DNS service is working properly on the same server. Okay, now let us continue our configuration. We will configure this router, which is a normal router actually, and we also configure this router, which is also normal router, and finally we will configure this router, which is the NAT64 router, the router that will handle the NAT operation. Okay, so let us start. We will start with the DHCP server, this server, conf terminal. I'm going to change the host name. The host name will be DHCP6. Okay, enable the IPv6 routing, IPv6 unicast, then going to the interface, F00, enable the IPv6, okay, then give an IPv6 address. IPv6 address will be 2001 DB8 DDAA 12:1/64. This is for this IPv6 address for this interface. Okay, now we want to enable the OSPF because we need the routers to communicate with each other. Area 0 and put it on no shutdown. Then to the next interface, which is F01. This interface, I need to enable the IPv6 and give the IPv6 address, which is 2001 DB8 DDAA :11:1/64. Okay, then enable the IPv6, OSPF, no shutdown. Okay, that's all. We need to configure the loopback interface. IPv6 address for the loopback will be 2001 DB8 DDAA DDAA 11:1/64. Enable the IPv6 on the loopback, then exit. Okay, now I want to complete the configuration of the OSPF by specifying the router ID OSPF 123, the router ID dash ID will be 172 dot 1 dot 1 dot 1. Okay, exit. Configure a default route to NAT64 router. So, okay, IPv6 route ::/0. This will be forwarded to 2001 DB8 DDAA 12::2 to this interface. Okay, this route, this default route should be on this router, on the DHCP router, and we will see why when we configure the NAT64 in the coming lessons. Okay, then end the configuration. Just to be sure, I will show the IPv6 interface briefly. Okay, good. We have F00 with this IPv6 address, and F01 with this IPv6 address and the loopback. Okay, that is good. Now we want to configure stateless DHCPv6 on this router, on both interfaces, and this router will only inform the directly connected routers that there is a DNS server with this IPv6 address. Okay, so configure terminal. Okay, IPv6 DHCP pool. The pool name will be stateless. This command configures DHCP for IPv6 and create a pool with the name of stateless. Okay, the DNS server will be 2001 DB8 DDAA 11::2, and this is the IPv6 address for the for the DNS server, for the uPointer server actually, and the domain name is learning IPv6.local. Okay, exit. Now we create the pool and we specified the IPv6 address for the DNS server, and we specified also the name of the domain. Now we want to enable the DHCP server with the pool stateless on both interfaces. So interface F00 IPv6 DHCP server mode, and the pool is stateless. Okay, we want to set on the other stateful configuration. So IPv6 and the other config flag. Okay, this is very important because just to inform this DHCP to send the DNS server IPv6 address and the domain name within the router advertisement. In the other interface, I will do the same. F01 put it in the DHCP server mode and set the other config flag. That's all. Okay, now we configure the DHCP server router here, this router, and we set the ND other config just to send the IPv6 address of the DNS server and the domain name to the servers, and we configure it on both interfaces. So this router will know about the DNS server and will know about the domain name, and this router also will know about the DNS server and the domain name. The last configuration that should be done on this router is to set the DNS v6 parameter. So come to terminal, IB domain, lookup, okay. This command to enable the DNS parameter, and then IB domain name is learning IPv6.local, and IB name dash server is 2001 db8 ddaa colon 11 colon 2. Okay, that is good. Now we complete the configuration for the DHCP server. We will go to R2. We will enable the IPv6 address, and we set the IPv6 address, and we will tell this router to get the DNS server and the domain name from the DHCPv6 address. Configure terminal, enable the IPv6 routing, interface F00. Actually we have only one interface here, F00. IPv6 enable on this interface. Okay, and the IPv6 address we will assign it statically 2001 db8 ddaa 11 colon 3 /64. Okay, but we have to tell this server to get the other information from the DHCP server, so we need to configure the auto configuration. Okay, that's good. Then enable the OSPF routing protocol area 0. Okay, no shutdown for this interface. We need to do the configuration of the loopback. The IPv6 address for the loopback is 2001 db8 ddaa 2222 colon 1 /64. Okay, enable the IPv6 and the loopback, then enable the OSPF router, then exit from the interface configuration, and now we will tell the R2 to get the information from the DHCPv6 router. So IPv6 DHCP. Pool name is stateless. Okay. Import the DNS server. The DNS server IPv6 address that you will get from DHCPv6, import it and save it in your configuration, and import also the domain name. Okay, exit. Next, we have to give the router ID to complete the OSPF protocol configuration. The router ID is 172.2.2.2. Exit. Okay, now we need this router also to use the DNS. So IB domain lookup, and we have to actually configure the default route 002001 DB8 DDAA :11::1. Okay, so this is a default route on this router that any packet you don't know where to send, you can send it to this interface. Okay, we will know why we configure both routers, I mean the DHCPv6 router and router 2 with this default router when we complete the configuration of the NAT64. That's all. Very good. Now we will do the last router, which is NAT64 router. Here. We need to enable it and configure the terminal. The host name is NAT64. Okay. Enable the IPv6 unicast routing. The interface number 1 is GI1. Enable the IPv6 and set the IPv6 address, which is 2001 DB8 DDAA :12:2/64. Also, we need this router to receive the other information that will be attached in the router advertisement and initiated from this interface. So this could be done by enabling the autoconfig. Okay, then we need to set the OSPF, because all routers should know about each other. Area is 0, sorry. Okay, and no shot for the interface. The next interface, this interface, we are going to assign it IPv4 address because it is out of our network here. Okay, the next interface is interface GI2. Okay, the IP address will be 172.20.0.2 here. Okay, and the subnet mask will be 200.200.0.0. Sorry. Okay, we need also to enable the OSPF 123 area 0 and put it. Next is for the loopback 0. We will give it IPv6 address. Yes, 2001 colon DB8 DDAA 2222 colon 2/64 and enable the OSPF routing table, routing protocol, and exit, giving the router an ID, OSPF 123, the router ID is 172.64.64.64. Okay, exit. Okay, that's good. Now to set the DNS v6 parameter on this router, IPv6 DHCP pool is stateless. Okay, import the DNS server and import the domain name. Okay, good. Exit, and to use the DNS server, then end. Okay, just to be sure about the configuration, show IP interface brief. This is for IPv4 on this side. So we have only GI2 here, which has IPv4 address. For the IPv6 address, we have GI1. We have a static, and this IPv6 address initiated by using the slack. Okay, we complete now the configuration for the routers. Now the next is to check the DNS v6. Remember, till now we only did the configuration of the DNS v6, not DNS 64. Now we want to check the DNS v6. Is it working on this network or not? Let me ping the DNS from NAT64, the DNS server, this server. Bing DNS64. Okay, it is working. From R2, let me Bing NAT64. Bing NAT64. Okay, it is working. And from the DHCPv6, let me Bing, for example, R2. Bing R2. Now the DNS server is working. Thank you for watching and see you in next videos.